He picked the wrong black woman that day. I'm talking about Officer Wilson, standing there in his pressed blue uniform, thinking he could bulldoze anybody with a badge and a bad attitude. But he didn't know who he was dealing with. That's how this started, with my sister Sarah Hayes, her wrists bleeding under handcuffs and her career on the line, and me, Captain Alexis Hayes, still in my army boots, sliding a folder of classified evidence across a cold precinct table while the whole room went silent. Their nightmare? It was just beginning. Let me back up a sec, because you need to understand just how normal Sarah's day was before everything blew up. She's 38, single mom of two stubborn teenagers, community health director in Pinehurst, Ohio, the kind of job where you're more likely to be found arguing for a grant at City Hall than making headlines. That morning, sunlight was streaming through her window, coffee brewing, and Sarah was rehearsing the most important pitch of her career, a $5 million grant to bring medical resources to folks who barely get a shot. She left the house with her suit crisp, hair natural and elegant, every detail intentional, the way you do when you know people will judge you before you open your mouth. She's used to that. But you know what gets you? It's the little mistakes. She'd left a key set of reports back at home, had to double back, and now she was running late, pressing the gas just a little harder, nothing crazy, maybe 7 miles over. And that's when she saw the police cruiser. No siren, just quietly sliding behind her like a shadow you can't shake. Her hands tightened on the wheel. Doesn't matter how many degrees you have or how good your intentions are. When you see those lights flick on, your stomach drops. She pulled over exactly by the book, engine off, hands on the wheel, every word measured, every move announced, just like our dad taught us growing up. Officer Wilson didn't greet her, didn't ask how her day was, just barked for license and registration, eyes scanning her like she'd stolen the car. Sarah asked, as calm as anyone could be, what the stop was for, and he snapped again, no explanation, just demands. She explained, my documents are in the glove box, my license in my purse. I'm going to reach slowly, you know, spelling it out so there's no misunderstanding, but he didn't even nod. As she reached, his partner, Reynolds, circled the car, both of them with hands way too close to their holsters. Step out of the car, now, Wilson barked, and Sarah hesitated, explaining she had an important meeting. She was only slightly over the limit. Could they clarify the problem? Didn't matter. Out. Now. Or you're resisting. And that was the moment, the point where everything normal turned dangerous. She did what she was told, but Wilson went for intimidation, patting her down right there in public view, saying he smelled something suspicious. The old playbook, fabricate cause, dig for dirt, especially if you're black in a nice part of town. She kept repeating, there's nothing in my car. I'm the community health director. I have proof, if you'll let me get it. But he didn't care. Next thing, her arms twisted behind her back, cuffs biting into her skin, face pressed against the hot hood. Her careful presentation, papers, charts, everything got tossed onto the parking lot, drifting down the street like trash. By now, people had gathered. A couple were recording. A few sympathetic faces. But nobody stepped in. She got dragged into the cruiser, still not told what she'd done, and taken to the station for hours in holding, no phone call, no explanation, just cold suspicion and fake paperwork piling up on the desk. That's when I got the call. Not directly, Sarah managed to get a quick call to my cell, using the phrase we'd agreed on as kids for real emergencies, like that time at Uncle Ray's fishing cabin. I dropped everything. I'm a captain in Army intelligence, 14 years of learning how to take down corrupt networks and read between the lines. My first call was to Sarah's assistant, my second to a friend in the FBI's Civil Rights Unit. I started digging into Officer Wilson and his partner Reynolds. Turns out, they jumped departments after multiple use-of-force complaints. The whole Pinehurst PD had a record of harassing black drivers, dozens of lawsuits sealed tight. Meanwhile, Sarah's stuck in holding. Her charges are multiplying, expired registration, already cleared weeks ago, resisting arrest, possible narcotics, even assaulting an officer. Body cam malfunctioned. You see the pattern? The department was working overtime to make her into a threat. The chief, Carter, made sure everyone in the station knew Sarah was a problem. But they didn't count on two things: witnesses with camera phones and me running my own investigation. While they stalled, I called in every favor I could. I got traffic cam footage showing they tailed her for blocks before flipping the lights. No, erratic driving. I tracked down bystanders with video. One was a college kid named William, who agreed to testify. Then I went to the station, first in plain clothes, then in full uniform, military ID flashing. I asked for Sarah. The sergeant shrugged me off until I mentioned my contacts at the state attorney general's office and the DOJ. Suddenly, they were a lot more careful. They let me see Sarah, her wrist bruised, hair messy, suit ruined. That's when I put everything I had on the table. Officer records, video, the lies in their reports, even stats showing black drivers got searched 6 times more than white ones in Pinehurst. Carter tried to stonewall, but the pressure was mounting. Detective from Internal Affairs joined in, quietly slipped me more files. It was clear the whole scam was about to unravel, but the real twist? Inside the department, people started talking. Not everyone wanted to risk their pensions for a cover-up. The rookie, Rodriguez, quietly admitted he saw what happened but was too scared to speak up. The department's own processing sergeant turned out to be an FBI informant, documenting misconduct for years. As more evidence piled up, Carter got desperate. He tried to plant more evidence in Sarah's car, started threatening witnesses, even called in fake tips to smear her job. All of it left fingerprints, digital trails, surveillance footage, paper trails we'd already copied. By the time the DOJ came down, the tide had shifted. Sarah was released, her charges pending review, but her reputation bruised. The city tried to buy her silence with a big payout and an NDA. She refused. That's when the department panicked. Midnight phone calls, threats, patrol cars circling the house. Didn't matter. We had all the documentation. Every call, every threat, every fake record. The city council opened hearings. The mayor, realizing this was bigger than any one case, put Sarah in charge of the new police oversight board. The DOJ's final report was scathing: systemic racism, evidence tampering, retaliation. Carter was forced to retire. Wilson and Reynolds lost their badges, facing criminal charges. The department was placed under a consent decree, forced to retrain, report every stop, every search. But for Sarah, the most important change was seeing her sons, Marcus and Elijah, learn that you don't back down just because someone in power tells you to. Marcus started a student group tracking school discipline disparities. Elijah stood up to the officer's nephew, got an apology. I took all my Army skills and started a consulting firm on police accountability. Sarah used her settlement to start the Pinehurst Accountability Project, helping others document abuse. The department changed, not overnight, but step by step: body cams required, community liaisons, real consequences for misconduct. If you're still with me, ask yourself, have you ever seen someone turn injustice into change? Drop a comment if you think justice can only come when the truth gets out. Like and share if you believe in holding power accountable. And remember, sometimes the only way to break a system built on silence is to document everything, speak up, and never accept that's just how it is. This isn't just Sarah's story, it's a warning and a blueprint. What would you do if it happened to you or someone you love? Let's talk about it.